guys, today on Watch with Poppy we're going to talk about mid-season premieres, which means new TV, which means I'm super excited. Okay, so there are quite a lot of shows that are going to be premiering once the new year starts. I'm not going to talk about all of the new shows that are coming out. I'm really just going to talk about the ones that I'm going to watch, and a few that maybe I'm a little on the fence about. So let's get right to it. One thing I'll mention up front is that you'll be able to find the links for the previews for all of the shows I'm going to talk about today. You'll find those in the description box down below. Okay, we're going to start with NBC, and the very first show we're going to talk about is Deception. So Deception is basically about this police officer who's played by Megan Good, who finds out that her friend from back in the day when she was a teenager was found dead. Now, when she was a kid, she used to actually live with this girl's family because her mother worked for them. So she knows the family really well, and it comes out that it's possible that her friend was murdered, and it's really possible that she was murdered by somebody in the family. So she goes undercover into the family home to try to figure out who killed her friend. I've actually seen the pilot episode of this show, and I'm going to be doing a review on that, so watch for that in the next couple of days. Right off the bat, this show seems like NBC's answer to ABC's Revenge, for sure. It definitely has that kind of feel to it. It also reminds me a little bit of Veronica Mars as well, because there's lots of flashbacks to her and her friend when they were teenagers, and it just reminds me of all those Lily Kane dreams and flashbacks that Veronica Mars used to have. Like I said, I watched the pilot episode, and I'll definitely keep watching to see if this show kind of intrigues me enough, so we'll see. Deception premieres on NBC on January 7th at 10 p.m. Okay, let's talk about another NBC show. It's called Do No Harm. And basically, it's a modern-day retelling of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story. This show premieres on January 31st, and how do I put this? I'm always really wary of shows that really seem like they're gonna get canceled really quickly, and this show just has that kind of stench all over it. So I'm hesitant to get deeply involved, especially if it's gonna get canceled, because there's nothing that annoys me more. So I've decided that I'm gonna give Do No Harm a 1-episode trial. I'm gonna watch the premiere, and pretty much if it doesn't grab me, then I'm gonna be done with it. So we'll see. So there are a couple of returning shows that I'm really excited about as well that are gonna be on NBC. One is The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser is gonna premiere on 2 nights, actually, January 6th and January 7th, and I'm really excited for this new season because there's a couple of really cool things that are going to be happening. One is that Jillian Michaels is back, and I'm always excited to see Jillian. And the second is that this season, there's actually no kind of age limit on the contestants. So there's going to be young contestants, like teenage contestants, as well as older contestants as well. So I think that's kind of like a cool little mix-up that they're doing this year. The second show I'm super excited about is the return of Smash. I loved this show last year, and yeah, I'm excited to see it again. I know there's been like a shake-up at the show where they've got like a new showrunner, and so it's supposed to have a little bit of a different feel, so I definitely will tune in to find out what happens. Okay, and the last show that I'm super excited about is one of my favorite shows, and that is Community. And let's just take a moment right now to just, NBC, if you're listening, I just want to say fail. Fail! You failed! Because technically Community was supposed to premiere back in the fall, but it got shuffled around and thrown into the new year, which kind of sucks, you know, because I feel like NBC kind of shoved Community to the side to make way for shows like Animal Practice. I mean, like, come on, like, I took one look at that show and knew instantly, like, this show's gonna get canceled. And it did get canceled because it sucked! Anyway, I'm excited because Community will return on February 7th, and I'm super excited. I keep hearing rumors that this is probably it for Community, that these are the last episodes that we're gonna see, and I really hope that that's not true. So, if you haven't watched Community, you need to check it out because it's funny and it's awesome and really one of the best shows on TV. Okay, let's move on to the CW, which is one of my favorite networks, people. I just love the CW. I love tons of shows that are on the CW. There are a couple of new shows. Obviously, the big one that most people are going to be talking about is The Carrie Diaries. So, The Carrie Diaries is a prequel to Sex and the City. And obviously now with Gossip Girl just ending, this is probably the show most people are looking forward to. I won't be watching this show though because I didn't watch Sex and the City, and so I don't know that story, so I don't care to know the prequel story, so I just thought I'd mention it because a lot of people will be excited about it, but I won't be tuning in. One CW show that I will check out is called The Cult. Okay, really probably the reason that I'm gonna check this show out is because of two of the actors in the show. One is Robert Knepper, and the other one is Matt Davis. For those of you who watched the Vampire Diaries, Matt Davis is our beloved Alaric, and Robert Knepper he was the bad guy on Prison Break, which is a show that I kind of liked, at least the first season. But he was a really good bad guy, and he is the bad guy in this show. So this show's kind of like about a cult, and Matt Davis plays a police officer who is trying to find out, you know, if this cult is, you know, trying to take over the world type of thing. And Robert Knepper plays the really bad guy who is the leader of this cult. It looked interesting enough, the preview did. Yeah, definitely check it out down in the description box below. This one premieres on February 19th at 9 p.m. on the CW. Okay, and of course the CW has lots of returning shows that I'm super excited about. Wednesday, January 16th, we'll see the return of Arrow and Supernatural. I love you, Dean Winchester. And Thursday, January 17th, sees the return of The Vampire Diaries and Beauty and the Beast. And just for a quick second, let's talk about Beauty and the Beast, because I am kind of on the edge of kicking this show off of my TiVo. I've decided basically that once it comes back from its winter hiatus that I'm gonna give it a try for a couple of episodes to see if it gets any better. But I don't know what it is about that show, it just hasn't really captured me yet. I think the real reason I've kept watching is because of Jay Ryan. He's the guy who plays Vincent, the Beast, and I've just really kind of enjoyed his performance and his character quite a lot. Some of the other characters on the show are just super annoying. And I promise the only reason I love Vincent isn't you know, because he takes his shirt off a lot, because, you know, that just happens on the CW all the time. We know that, because that's kind of their thing. But, yeah, we'll see about Beauty and the Beast once it starts again, if I'm gonna keep watching. Not sure about that. Okay, moving on. Let's see what's happening over on ABC. The first show that I'm kind of on the fence about is called The Red Widow. And it's basically about this woman, and she's married, and she's got a happy life, and doesn't it always start that way? And then her husband gets killed, and it's like all about her kind of delving into this world of organized crime, and basically trying to find out who killed her husband, and like, you know, payback, basically. And the preview looks interesting, so you know, more than likely I will probably check out the first episode. So The Red Widow actually premieres on ABC on Sunday, March 3rd. So I've got a little bit of time to, you know, think about it, to decide if I'm gonna watch it or not. We'll see. So the one show on ABC that I'm actually, you know, excited to watch is called 0 Hour. It's got Anthony Edwards in it. Love him from ER. But this show is kind of like what would happen if the Da Vinci Code and National Treasure got together one night, had a little wine, and then decided to have a baby. Then that baby would be this show, basically. So it's about Anthony Edwards' character. He's married to this woman he's in love with. See, it always starts like that. I told you. And she, like, loves antiques. She owns an antique shop. She buys this clock. And then all of a sudden somebody comes and kidnaps her and takes her away because of this clock. And the show is about him trying to figure out who kidnapped his wife and how to get his wife back, type of thing. And right now, let me just tell you that I am a sucker for shows that have really kind of deep folklore and story behind them. And this show has that all over it. I mean, like, in the preview that I saw, it basically talked about how there were these 12 clocks, and the 12 clocks were made to hide a secret that could destroy the world. And really, you had me at 12 clocks. You had me. This show premieres on Valentine's Day, February 14th, and I'm kind of excited about this one. So this next show I will not be watching, but I needed to talk about it because I need to make fun of it. It's called Celebrity Diving. So just think of Dancing with the Stars without the dancing. Instead, there's diving. And I'm amazed that there is such a show, but there is. This show premieres on March 19th, and you know, I'm not always right. You know, sometimes there are shows that I think are silly that people love, like Dancing with the Stars. I'm amazed that that show is a big hit, so maybe Celebrity Diving will be a big hit too, though I doubt that very, very much. Now, are you ready for the shocker? The shocker is that there's actually more than one of these shows. So Fox is actually doing their version of this show. It's called Stars in Danger, The High Dive. And yeah, I can't believe that that's real either, but it is. The Fox show premieres on Wednesday, January 9th, which means that there are going to be 2 celebrity diving shows on TV in the near future. Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe the Mayans were wrong about the whole apocalypse thing. Maybe that's coming later and these are further signs of the apocalypse. Okay, and then 2 returning shows that I'm super excited about on ABC. One would be Nashville, which I have loved this fall so far. That's coming back on Wednesday, January 9th. And then one of my absolute favorite shows on TV right now is Scandal, and that comes back on Thursday, January 10th. Okay guys, really quickly, let's talk Fox. It's January, which means it's time for American Idol, and I'll be honest, I'm really not sure if I'm gonna watch this season. I didn't watch last season, and like even all the hype about this drama between Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey, it just seems really kind of staged to me, and I really don't care to see 2 grown women, like yelling at each other. It just seems kind of ridiculous to me. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to watch American Idol. It does premiere on January 16th, and I don't know, I really like the beginning part when the bad people are singing, so that's really how they always suck me in. So I may watch at least that part. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. See? I'm a sucker. Okay, the last premiere I'm going to talk about is on Fox, and it is the show that I'm probably most excited about. And it is The Following. It premieres on January 21st. And it stars Kevin Bacon, so that alone should be enough to get you in. So the show is about Kevin Bacon's character. He's a retired FBI agent when all of a sudden he gets this call that this serial killer that he captured has escaped. So he gets pulled back into the FBI to basically capture this guy again. The preview looks awesome, so you should definitely go check out the preview. It seems like Fox is doing a really big push behind the show. I'm sure that's because they've got Kevin Bacon in a show, but actually a couple of days before the show premieres on January 19th, they're airing a special called Behind the Following. And the cool thing is that it airs at midnight on January 19th. And the whole midnight thing is just really kind of cool and kind of creepy, and I kind of like that, so I'm definitely in for that. I'm really excited about this show. Okay guys, that's it. Those are the mid-season shows that I'm super excited about that I will be reviewing come the new year. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye! Celebrity diving. I just don't get it.